Hello YouTube, Dark Maven 1976 here with another video. This is part 2 of my props video, and in this props video I will be talking about a prop that gave me a lot of headache, and this was the Sailor Moon healing wand. Yay! I made it bigger than it's supposed to be because I wanted something to hold on to at cons and not have this tiny little thing. And what prompted me to make this was I was looking for it on eBay, and apparently what they wanted for it was $900, and I'm like, $900 for a piece of plastic that lights up? Apparently it was vintage. So I was looking around like for it on the internet, and I stumbled on on Studio Mallory's website. Links will be down below, and she was selling these for $45, but she also had a tutorial on how to make it. The part that, and I thought, hey, this looks easy, I'll just make it myself. The problem was, it wasn't as easy as I thought. Parts of her tutorial went missing, so she didn't tell me how to put this on there, or how she made these, and which was alright. I mean, I figured it out myself. And I had to leave this at my parents' house because I live in an apartment and I don't have a garage to make this stuff or store it while it's drying. And yeah, the problem with that is if I stored it outside on my porch, my neighbors will ruin it or steal it, or they're nosy too. And yeah, the hard part was actually getting to it to get it done, because every time I would have my hands in drought, my dad would be like, hey, I need your help with something, or my mom would need help with the computer or something. And then the holidays came around, because I started it in October and didn't finish it until, like, I think it was after Christmas. Yeah, it was after Christmas when I finished it, and I was like, finally, it's done. So I'm going to go into detail how I made it. This is made out of grout, wood, and cardboard. Yeah, cardboard and grout, I know. So on her tutorial, she cut out the moon out of cardboard and glued it onto a wooden dowel, which most of the stuff was free, because my dad provided with the wooden dowel and the grout. And what she didn't tell me was she had the pre-made grout, pre-mixed grout, and in the tutorial, and I had the grout that you had to mix yourself, and it was always goopy and watery and hard to work with, which I wasn't getting the ratios right at all with the grout. So that's why it kind of looks kind of like flat like this. And plus it kept cracking and breaking because it was so heavy on the cardboard and goopy, and my dad helped fix it every time it broke or cracked, and which I was grateful for. I love my dad. He's just awesome. He was awesome through the whole process. So yeah, and the stuff, the items I bought, this moon thing here was very hard to find. I went like to 4 or 5 crap. I went to Joann's, so they didn't have anything like that there. I went to stores downtown that were crafty hippie stores, and they didn't have it. And finally I went to Walmart of all places, and they had it in the kiddies crafting section. They had a little bag of moons and stars and stuff, and I'm like, finally. It took me such a long time, and if I couldn't find it, I was probably gonna like jury rig something. I would have. This I bought at Joann's. It was like in a box, not a box, but a little bag of crystals and buttons and stuff. And these are supposed to be wings, but they're actually feathers or leaves that I bought at Big Lots. I was like, hey, I could probably use these as the wings or something. And my husband was like, yeah, and it's only $2.50. So I bought it. The hardest thing to find was this crystal here because none of the hippie stores downtown had it, or antique stores, and I thought, how am I going to find this thing? Finally, I just went downtown from store to store, the store asking, hey, do you have anything like this? Because I already had one, but it was my grandmother's, and she passed on a while ago, and I didn't want to use that for sentimental reasons, so I'm like, do you have anything like this? And they said, oh, only big stained glass downtown might. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went in, and they're like a beading company, and with stained glass and pretty baubles, and they're like, oh, we have one, and what color would you like it in? And, oh, I need it in clear. And they asked me what I was going to use it for, and I told them I was going to do a cosplay project. And they're like, what? See, the people in my town are quite, not all of them are elderly, but I live in a sheltered town where word cosplay is not in their vocabulary, or anime or anything like that. So I had to explain what it was, and she was like, oh, I see. She gave me this really weird look, and so you don't need the little string to attach to your window. And I'm like, no. She's like, okay. So I also painted it metallic gold. Oh, shit. That fell off. Well, I'm going to have to re-glue that. Metallic gold and metallic pink. And I got that at Walmart as well. And I'll have to reattach that. But I think it turned out well. I mean, it turned out better than I thought it was. And I kept getting interrupted every time I wanted to work on it at my parents' house, because I'd be doing laundry, and they'd be asking me questions like, can you help me with their computer? Or Dad wants to download pictures, which is fine. I'm happy to help them. They let me stay there to do laundry and store it there. And finally Dad's like, you gotta get this thing out of here at some point. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Dad, I'll finish it. And towards the end I finally finished it, and it was like, finally it's done. It was such a pain because I had all these problems with it. As you can see, I still have problems with it, and I'll fix that later. And it was just such a pain in the butt to work on, but a great joy, and I enjoyed actually working on it when I could. And this was like not the first project I did, but it was it was one of the most satisfying projects I worked on. I mean, like the True Blood bottle that I had, it was okay, but it wasn't really that time consuming, or I didn't get that satisfying. I made this. Something I made, and it doesn't look like crap. I wasn't into arts and crafts as a kid, because all these other kids would have these beautiful clay sculptures. Well, not beautiful, but like they made a dog and with Play-Doh, and I made a snake. Yeah. So links down below to her tutorial on how to do the moon wand. She said parts of her tutorial went missing, so I had to figure out how to put the moon wand, the crystal, on by myself. And I think what we did was we put Gorilla Glue and hot glue on it so it would stick until the Gorilla Glue dried. And yeah, that's it for this episode of this part 2 of my props video. I hope you enjoy. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, comment down below. If you have any suggestions of what you want to see for my channel, comment down below. Like if you like this video and want to see more. Until then, cosplay safe. Bye.